Hey, how's it? I'm Darkoburi. Monster Studio in the house. Like I mentioned, for this week's video I'm bringing you another different company that we haven't featured here on the channel. It's Monster Studio, and we're going to have a Dragon Ball piece from them. Just check this out, the size of the box is also impressive, and we've really put on a show these past weeks to bring you new companies, new pieces, so you can decide if they're worth it for you or not. In this case, it's a resin piece, like with Tsum and all those others we featured, which are pretty large in size. Usually, they're about 45 centimeters tall. The biggest ones we've had were the Eva and the Yiki from Phoenix, which are two absolutely massive pieces, one from Pure Art Studios, and the other, as you know, from Prime 1 Studios. Now it's Monster Studios' turn. Let's check out the quality, and stick around to find out all about the pieces, the details, and the final finish of this Dragon Ball Z piece from Monster Studio. Once we've taken the box out of the outer packaging, honestly, I kept it because it looks really, really good. And this is the illustration we're going to have for our diorama. Here we have Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3 with one of the special techniques he came up with, which is creating these explosive little ghosts. And obviously, here's the spoiler with this little antenna. If you already recognize that character, let us know in the comments. I know a lot of you are going to say, Antenna. We'll reveal who the character is later, but for now, let's just call it Antenna. And here we have the one and only, the real deal, Shenlong from Earth. Why? Because the Dragon Balls are right there. Here's one of them. And honestly, what surprises me here is the name. Check out how they spell Super Saiyan. And here is Gotenks in Super Saiyan Level 3. Here's the piece. It comes completely. Let's see, I think it's Korean, Chinese. What do you think? I say it's more like Chinese. And honestly, why? Because Monster Studio, over here on this side of the box, I literally just took it out of the outer box, came completely sealed. Just like I'm showing you, it comes totally sealed, and here it also says Monster Studio. I'm just going to let it drop a little here so you all can check it out, even if it's not set up right. Here it says Dragon Ball, and honestly I was surprised because I was also expecting to see a Dragon Ball Z, since Gotenks shows up almost at the very end of Dragon Ball Z. They just finish with Majin Buu and then Dragon Ball GT starts with UB. So now, I'm going to take out the figure, the whole piece. The box is really special. The only indication that it's from Monster Studio is what I showed you here on the back. Right now, I'm going to put it back very carefully. But it's a surprise for you all who are watching the video for the first time along with me. When I do an unboxing, I'm not prepared to see the piece. I just do the unboxing as it arrives, right in the moment. Another thing is that whenever you buy a piece, there's always a warning that says the final details may change in size and color. That's why it's better to watch a review of the final piece to see if it convinces you or not. So, stay with us here on the Darkoburi channel because the most important part of this unboxing is coming up. Honestly, I decided to take it out and film here to show how your piece comes protected. It's not like the other pieces we've seen, honestly, that come with zip ties, really well protected, tape everywhere. Here the sheet music comes folded in half, attached only with this tape, but it doesn't take anything away from it because it's actually very, very well protected. Honestly, I have pretty high expectations for this piece to see how Monster Studio handles it. And the three things I want to see: first, the base, because remember the piece number is on the base. Second, whether it comes with a certificate of authenticity for our Monster Studio piece. And third, obviously, is the quality and finish of the piece itself. Out of all the giant resin pieces we've unboxed, honestly, the one I've liked the most is Garrus, especially with the detail of the real sand it came with. Let us know in the comments which resin piece you like the most and from which company, while we do the unboxing here of Dragon Ball, Gotenks and Super Saiyan 3 from Monster Studio. And the first thing I told you I absolutely had to check out is this part, which is the base. Check out all the details that the diorama starts with. This whole part of the resin is absolutely stunning, and they combine the effect with these rocks. But the most interesting thing is what's down here. Just check out this little illustration they put on our base. Remember that on other bases we've unboxed, they even include the number of the piece here, because these pieces are obviously limited edition. What I didn't like here, both on the front of the base and the bottom, is that it still says Dragon Ball. I'll leave the question for you. If you know why they only use Dragon Ball instead of Dragon Ball Z, like it really should be, let me know. Leave it in the comments. I have no idea. Later, I'm going to go on good old Google and ask why Monster Studio decided to just call it Dragon Ball, that awesome franchise, but that's when Goku was a kid. Here we already know that it evolved. It's the fusion of Gotenks and Trunks, who are the two sons Gokus and Vegetas who fused together. But here is everything else. The second thing I told you I was really interested in is this. It's my certificate for the piece's number. On the front of this coin is an illustration of Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3. But just check out the back here. It's piece number 58. Let's see, 58. Out of 288 pieces in the world. So, unboxing this piece in Spanish. Honestly, you're going to see very few of these, so stick around because now we're going to do the full review and assembly of the entire piece so you can see every detail of this mega diorama from Monster Studio here on the Darkoburi channel. We're going to do a quick review of the base again because we're about to start the assembly, but I didn't want to move on without showing you all the details here on the rocks. Check out how the dragon is coming out, and it's what gives the whole shape its effect. Obviously, all of this is part of the key that's rising, and it looks like the rocks are breaking apart. It has a really cool effect, and I wanted to show you this part because it's where Shenlong's scales fit in. They did this whole section perfectly, and on this side, in the back, check out the spaces where you can only see the rocks, so from the front and the back, your piece is going to look awesome. It has these little details on the piece that look like a whirlwind effect, as if Gotenks' ki is increasing because he's right in the middle of a fight. Against who? Against the baddest, most evil character from that part, which is Majin Buu. He's got him totally trapped with this technique, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Here, the base looks absolutely awesome, and check out that it's still using the technique where they put in magnets. The piece is magnetized so it fits together. And, just saying, when you're assembling your piece, always do it carefully. Here we can already see where Shenlong goes. This is where you mount the Shenlong part, and whenever you're assembling it, always make sure to line it up properly. Why? Because if you let it fall any which way, the piece will come off. Here, it clearly shows you the instructions, the shape and outline of each here, the intersections where each part of each piece goes in, and on this side, like I'd mentioned, you'll also find this. What you see here, the little ball in the middle, is the magnet where all the pieces attach. Be careful, because with the Ever piece, even though the magnet was really strong, the piece was still left hanging. In a moment, we'll let you know if this piece is fully secured, if it fits perfectly, or if it's like with Pure Art Studio where some pieces are left hanging, which gives a really cool effect, but the stability of the piece isn't that great. Let me assemble it piece by piece, and I'll give you the review as I go, so you can, for example, see Shenlong in full. We're going to check it out right now, put on his head, his whiskers, and we'll continue with the review of the piece here on the Darkoburi channel. And for example, this is how Shenlong looks once assembled. Here you can see the whole figure. It looks spectacular. It's divided into the head, both arms, and inside this arm is the 4-star Dragon Ball. Let's remember that this is the iconic one that Goku has always had, the one his grandfather left him. Here, Shenlong has a green color that honestly looks really vibrant, and the whole part, let's say, the belly, is yellow with this red texture detail. Here, honestly, there's a totally, super cool effect with the texture of the scales, and this part is completely smooth. What I didn't like is that the whiskers, yes, you do insert one on each side, but they're very delicate. Honestly, you have to be really careful. I'm going to put it back on right now, because the whiskers fall off easily. This one stays embedded here inside Shenlong's hair, but the other one, just check this out, it needed something, so we could have left it pointing upward and it would have balanced it out. That's something I noticed, that when you assembled a figure, both whiskers should stay like this. I'll put them back on in a moment, and what really stands out here, obviously, are the horns of the dragon himself as he emerges from the Dragon Balls. Here, they give it this full-on wood style, which honestly I think looks super cool, and everything else about Shenlong, from the mouth, the fangs, the teeth, to the expression itself. Just check out how vibrant the color of the dragon's eyes is. Right now, I'm going to have to take off the hand so I can properly set up the ghosts and Gotenks himself, but honestly, I just wanted to show you how Shenlong looks on its own, and honestly, it turned out super cool. I have no complaints or doubts about the arms. Check this out. It's a bit of a struggle to detach them, but when you put them back on, it's no trouble at all to get the piece secured again. The only criticism I have so far is the mustache, and now I'll leave you with a shot of Shenlong here on the Darkoburi channel. And let's remember that when they go to Namek, that's where they meet the true creator of the Dragon Balls, the Grand Elder, who creates Porunga. Between the two, honestly, I like the Porunga figure more. Let me know in the comments who you like more, Shenlong or Porunga. But right now it's Shenlong's time to shine here, and like I said, these clouds fit together really easily. Honestly, we didn't have any trouble at all with this new part they added to all the pieces. I still remember back in the 90s when I had my Saint Seiya figures, and when you put the pieces on, sometimes you'd find your knife falling apart with all the little pieces barely fitting together. But here, everything is much easier to assemble. Check out how each of the ghosts gets placed here. This one we have on this side. Obviously, we're going to put it over here. Honestly, when you do it from the front, it's easier. And this little guy that goes down here, let's put it right under Shenlong's arm. There we go. That's how you mount the ghosts. But at that moment you say, I have this extra ghost that didn't come with the figure, inside the box. If you remember the image, which we'll show you here real quick, they either left this one out or removed it. The truth is, our friends included another base here. It also says Dragon Ball. Let's check out the details. This is the base for the ghost. And honestly, when I saw this base I thought, come on, you guys really went all out with this Ultra HD 4K print on the base. But who am I to complain when they give you an extra piece and instead of just one figure, you get two? Honestly, it's the little ghost from Gotenks Technique and Super Saiyan 3, and the ghosts that come over here with the rest of the diorama, plus our certificate of authenticity and the collection number of our piece, which make this piece truly epic. I took off the mustache, like I said, because it's pretty delicate, and when you start handling the rest of the piece, it can fall off. And what I'm worried about is that since it's so fragile and a thin piece, It could actually break on you. So be extremely careful. So right now, we're going to do a close-up of this ghost. Check out the detail. We're about to talk about the details of these two little ghosts. So let's keep going with the review of the Gotenks in Super Saiyan 3-piece from Monster Studio. Don't forget, right here on the Darkoburi channel, to kick off the review of the ghosts, I'm going to throw in a couple of trivia questions. And the first one is for you to tell me, what Super Saiyan form are the ghosts in? Just check out the hair. Why? Because here are Gotenks, who's in Super Saiyan level 3, obviously has long hair, which is what sets the Saiyan form apart. Remember, Goku was the first to transform into it, but the ghost's hair doesn't get that long. So, I'm not sure if they're Super Saiyan level 2 or what. Let us know in the comments, because honestly, they never say it in the show, they just use the attack. And another interesting thing is that their eyes are also colored green. Remember, every time they transform into the Super Saiyan phase, the regular golden color, up to level 3, their eyes turn green, and their hair and eyebrows turn golden. Here, the ghosts have this blue color, let's call it light blue, like a sky blue. But the weird thing is that when they go to Super Saiyan level 3, goodbye eyebrows. It's like that Steve-O challenge where he shaves off his eyebrows and looks totally weird. We'll talk about Gotenks in a bit, but now, what Super Saiyan level is it? Really, I say it's level 2. If you think otherwise or agree with me, let me know in the comments. And honestly, every single piece is spectacular. This little ghost, if you look closely, is just doing this, stretching its cheeks, and the way the teeth are, they're really well separated, really well defined, and the same goes for the face and the expression, like I said. Over here on this side, he's sticking out his tongue, making fun of Majin Buu, and also, the second trivia question I said I was going to ask you is, at what point does Gotenks learn to do this? Because if you remember, they were practicing the fusion with Piccolo, and that's when the fat Gotenks and then the skinny one came out, and only when they finally got it perfect did this attack come out, the one the kids said they were secretly training around here, more or less on the sly. If you remember, leave it in the comments. And the other coolest and most spectacular thing, like I said, is this extra ghost. Here, they added more detail. We start with the cloud base, which I also really like. Here, if you look, it has a little bit of give, not much, but honestly, you have to be a bit careful. And the base of the ghost, here the whole body is basically the same. Obviously, all white. They're little ghosts that were created, that he creates with his mouth as if he's blowing up a balloon. But here, they left the hair more blue in this part and a little less, with a slightly more sky blue tone on this lower part of the hair. Here, he's holding this lamp. If you remember, he turns on the lamp to try to scare and be more frightening, and with his tongue sticking out. Here we can also see that the expression is mocking, and the eyes are green. Here they also put Dragon Ball with the symbol or the image of the ghost here, so you know that this base is for the ghost and this base is for the figure. Honestly, the ghosts turned out perfect. I have no complaints about the quality of the piece, except for the mustache on my Shenlong. Although I set them aside, I'm going to put them on at the very end so I can show you once the unboxing is finished. I'll show you the whole piece once it's fully assembled. But so far, Monster Studios review gets a perfect 10 here on the Darkoburi channel. And now, instead of mounting my Gotenks, I decided to show it to you because sometimes the details get lost inside the piece itself, since both the feet and the back are going to be completely hidden here in Shenlong. Just check out the detailing and texture on both the feet, right here, and the pants. The boots are a solid black with this red detailing that matches the whole effect our Shenlong has right there on the chest. But check out all the texture in this color. Let's call it a sort of green, with this part that's kind of white. But here, they create effects with the shadows, making it look like it's kind of dirty. But no, here we can see a bit more clearly that it's all the folds of the pants, obviously because our Gotenks is in action, but you can see all these effects between the wider parts and the parts with these shadows. But what impressed me most about Gotenks, check this out, obviously, is the enviable six-pack that all the Dragon Ball characters have, but they added the effective veins. The whole character has this vein-like texture on the skin. Obviously, you don't see that on the clothes. That means it's a detail exclusive to the parts where the skin is visible. Look here, just check out how the veins are sculpted on the bicep. On this other side, you can also see the veins, and you can see all that detail throughout the whole figure. That's why I decided to show it to you a little closer so you can see it for yourself. And the whole outfit our friend Gotenks is wearing, obviously, is the vest with this part detailed in yellow and his open blue vest. The green belt he has here always goes together with this part. Most of the Banpresto figures I've shown you always have the belt as a separate piece. Why is that? So you can be careful when assembling it and everything else that comes with the piece. Here it goes. Check it out. The only other thing he has are the black wristbands here. And this is where the final detail goes, where Majin Buu is trapped. So I'm going to leave you now so you can see Gotenks with all the details assembled here on the Darkoburi channel. Here, he's touching one of Shenlong's claws with the belt right there. So, that's what I'm telling you, you need to be really careful. And the other thing I said I was going to be really careful with, but nothing happened, was the hair. The hair extensions on these figures almost always come with something to hold them in place. If you remember the Asuna video from last week, whenever they have long hair, there's always that little base part that should support them, because it's a lot of weight on a single point. But honestly, nothing happened. It went on pretty easily, and that's how the head ends up fully attached to Gotenks' body. To be honest with you, I think the face is missing a bit more detail. If the whole arm even has veins sculpted in, why didn't they add a couple of veins on the face too, since he's angry and in the middle of action? If everything else is already in full battle mode, why does the face only have marks up here on the top part? Obviously, I'm telling you it's in the style of Stevel from Jackass, where they shave off their eyebrows in Super Saiyan Level 3. But other than that, it doesn't have any other detail except for his green eyes. What I really liked here is that the hair has the same effect as the rest of the piece. The shading, where some parts are brighter and where it goes deeper, that's where the shadows are. Honestly, it turned out really awesome. We're getting close to the end now. And the other detail I already mentioned, I'm going to put it together right now. But no, it's this. Here, the little ball where Majin Buu is tied up has Gotenks' finger marks on it. Obviously, when you put the piece in place, the whole handprint of Gotenks will be left there, and that's how the final piece ends up looking. So now we've finally reached the full assembly. I'm going to leave you for several minutes now so you can really enjoy this monster studio piece here on the Darkoburi channel. And in a truly remarkable and utterly delightful turn of events, they have meticulously prepared, thoughtfully arranged, and are now poised to unveil an extraordinary, genuinely captivating, and completely unexpected additional surprise, specifically and exclusively designed with immense care and consideration, just for you, our esteemed and highly valued audience members. with the sole intention of enhancing your overall experience and providing an even greater sense of joy and wonder. Here on the back, it comes with this connector, and you get this attachment with some batteries so that when you press the on button, you can see the base light up. We're going to make a video right now so you can see it a bit more in the dark, and here it turns off. Check out the effect. It only lights up the base. Let's look at it from this side. Check out the illuminated base. It's definitely worthy of being displayed in a showcase, obviously, with rechargeable batteries so you don't go through so many. And that's how it looks. You get two figures in one, which is your little ghost. You have your complete base with the whole diorama here, Shenlong, Gotenks, and Super Saiyan 3. And there's another question I have. When Shenlong appears, he emerges from the Dragon Balls, so it would be impossible for him to be holding just one ball in his hands. What do you think about that? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And get ready, because the giveaway and the end of this video are coming up. And if you liked this video, leave a comment, and if you didn't, leave one too. What do you think about this diorama? Honestly, I liked it a lot. The company seems to be pretty good, Monsters, so honestly, we'll keep them in mind for different figures and upcoming unboxings. Also, remember to follow Darkoburi on all social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Medium. We're on each and every social network, as well as on the darkoburi.com website, where you can find mugs, keychains, thermoses, figures, my book, everything you need to get started and learn all about the art of collecting. So check out all our social media, turn on the notification bell, and make sure you get every single update. Show it lots of love, I love it. It fills my heart. Share it so more people, first, can enter these giveaways we do in every video. And second, so they can find out about these pieces we featured lots of new companies in the latest videos. So go for it, show it lots of love, and you know what to do. Darkoburi, peace out.